Hey guys, spiritual whistleblower here. Good. What is this, Sunday? I can't even keep up with the days of the week. How y'all doing? Um, Before I get into this video, because I am going to talk about you divorcing your narcissistic parents, okay? You got to divorce your parents. Before we get into the subject of the video, I will be in the Midwest. I'm holding narc abuse support group meetups the entire month of September. September 10th, I'll be in Denver, Colorado. I'm doing a paint and sip. We're painting and sipping and celebrating empowerment, women empowerment. So please email me if you want to do the paint and sip. September 11th, I'll be in Minneapolis. September 18th, Chicago will be an actual party. A narc abuse support group party with music, food. I have a great location, guys. No issues with COVID, nobody bothering us. It's a private space, beautiful space. It will be a party. So all my people in Chicago, Saturday, September 18th, get your tickets now, okay, while seating is available. Because last year I had a huge turnout. I have a large crowd in Chicago. Same thing, Sunday, September 19th, I'm doing a party in Detroit. Yeah, your girl is on it. I'm doing a support group and party at a private location in Detroit, Michigan, Sunday, September 19th. Last year I had a large group. Detroit was one of my biggest turnouts. Chicago and Detroit, I had huge turnouts. So this year, let's keep that same energy. Cleveland is September 21st. St. Louis, Missouri, Saturday, September 25th. Kansas City, Missouri, the 26th. Okay, guys, get your tickets at chaneljasmine@gmail.com. I'll also be putting up a flyer for Chicago and Detroit, separate flyers, okay? And I'll be in Jamaica, Montego Bay, Jamaica. I'm doing a support group in Jamaica on September 23rd. Your girl is busy. For those of you wondering when I'm coming to the South, the whole month of October, New Orleans, Texas, Houston, Dallas, Austin. I'm going to be in Alabama, possibly Mississippi, so stay posted. New York and New Jersey, I'm doing a special domestic violence event for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October, and celebrate my birthday. Your girl is grinding. All right, let's get into this video. Divorce your parents. Why? Why would I say something outlandish like divorce? You need to divorce your narcissistic mommy and daddy. And you know, I coach a lot of people every single month, and I'm gonna tell you what's common. I'll tell you what's common. When I ask people, because I will dig into your childhood, and I ask people, tell me about your mother and father. You didn't tell me about how toxic your partner, your husband, your wife, baby daddy, baby mom. You didn't tell me how toxic they were. Tell me about your parents. What was your upbringing like? Well, it was normal. My parents weren't abusive. I mean, they were great providers, even though my dad stayed gone all the time, and even though my mom, she was supportive, but she didn't like hug me a lot. She wasn't like an emotional type of person, but they were normal. They made sure I had everything. They put me through college, and I said, baby, that's all abuse. That's abuse. That's why you're with a narcissist, because number one, narcissistic parents, they control their children financially because they are not able to provide emotional support the way that you deserve as a child, the emotional development, the emotional nurturing. Narcissistic parents will control their children financially. And if there's multiple siblings, each child will be treated differently from the other. Pay attention, because I've lived this and I know what I'm talking about. One child's going to be spoiled way more than the other child. That child is the golden child. That child is more than likely going to turn out to be narcissistic as an adult, because that is the child that the narcissistic parent wants to clone. Like when a narcissistic parent trains their child and spoils them, they're basically passing down the torch. When mommy dies, I want you to carry on my toxic ways and spread it onto your children and your grandchildren. That's what the narcissistic parent is doing when they're training. They're going to train this child by spoiling the fuck out of them, giving them gifts, money, treating them better than all their other children, making their children compete with each other, jealous and secure of each other. I'm telling you, narc parents are shitty, man. They're fucked up in the head. The golden child. Now, the other children, their roles are all different. One child will be the scapegoat. And the scapegoat, we know who the scapegoat is. The scapegoat is me, and the scapegoat is you. The scapegoat child is usually the child that is bullied and mistreated the most out of the entire family. The child that is abused the most, picked on the most, broken down to be a doormat, trained to be a people pleaser, a caretaker. You are, they turn you into the third parent. In other words, you're trained to become the parent because your narcissistic mommy and daddy, they're children, they're childish, they're immature, they don't want to grow up. So they'll dump all the responsibility onto you as a child and turn you into a parent. And you'll spend most of your teenage years being responsible instead of enjoying your childhood and your teenage years, going shopping to the mall. So your parents will make you take care of your siblings. That's what I had to do. So I was robbed of my childhood, robbed of my identity. Your teenage years, you should be spending time developing your identity, friendships, going to the mall, shopping, enjoying your teenage years. But when you are raised by a narcissistic parent, you're usually deprived of having any type of fun, any type of childhood. Your parents are super controlling, overbearing. You got to stay here and take care of your siblings. If you have a job, a lot of us as teenagers worked part-time jobs. I was a cashier. I was a newspaper. I delivered newspapers. I always had a job as a teenage girl. And trust and believe, my mother was right there snatching all my paychecks. None of my paychecks went to the mall. None of my paychecks were ever spent on myself. A teenage girl should be able to go shopping, buy her makeup, her hair products, her clothes, and save a little money in the bank. I was never taught how to be responsible or either invest and take care of myself. Self-care. My mother should have taught me how to invest in myself, invest in my future. When you come from a narcissistic parent, they set you up to fail as an adult. They don't teach you survival skills out in the world. You're going to end up running away from home and learning how to survive in the streets on your own. You're going to learn everything out in the world because your parents want to keep you weak and broken down so that they can maintain control over you even in your adulthood. So if you have a weak sibling that is living with your parents or they're super close to your and your sibling knows your mom and dad is toxic, but they won't disconnect or detach, that's because your mom and dad has programmed your sibling to be weak-minded. Your sibling can be bought with gifts and they can be manipulated. And that's how your parents maintain control over your narcissistic, toxic sibling. And your sibling ends up growing up with no fucking identity, deeply insecure. If your sibling has children, your parents will control their grandchildren with gifts and money. It's all about control. So empaths, when I tell you to divorce your parents, this is the key to destroying all the ties with narcissists in your life. And this is the key to raising your spiritual discernment. Because I tell people this and they have a hard time. Well, that's my mom and dad. I know they was toxic. I know they were abusive, but do I really have to cut them off? I mean, can't I just keep a distance and just stay in touch with them from time to time? I'd be like, no, baby, they got to go. You've got to treat your parents like they're dead. Disconnect. Because let me explain something. If you do not cut your parents off, and you know they're motherfucking toxic, you know they sit up and gossip about you behind your back, you know they fucking triangulate you against your siblings, so your siblings are gossiping and jealous. They want to see you and they want to see all their children competing with each other. Why the fuck as a parent would you sit up and tell one child, you know your sister's jealous of you, you know your brother's jealous of you? You're a toxic motherfucking bitch for that. All your children should be treated equally, not one better than the other. I have one child, but had I had multiple babies, not in my household, everybody's fucking equal. No one is better than the other. And I'm not going to tell my kids, oh, your sister's jealous of you. Oh, your brother is better than you. That's what narc parents do. When your parents are narcissistic, they love to see their children pitting against each other. Jealous and competitive, toxic motherfuckers. That's unhealthy parenting. Every child should be treated fucking equally. And I hope my bitch ass mother is watching this shit because she's guilty. And they do it to their grandchildren. They do it to their grandchildren. Sidebar, this is how my mother treats my motherfucking child. My baby, who is now a grown woman, 21, because my mother could not control me, I was independent. I stood my ground financially. I didn't accept her gifts, her money, her time, attention. I didn't kiss her ass. I didn't celebrate holidays. I stayed the fuck away from her. I struggled, but I raised my child. They're big mad. Put myself through school, grad school. I got my master's degree. When I didn't have a babysitter, I took my baby to class with me. I completed my studies and I bagged that master's degree, and I didn't invite none of my family to my graduation because they ain't helped me with shit. Why would I want a bunch of fucking haters clapping for me? Bitch, stay the fuck away from me. I walked that stage, and as long as my daughter saw me walk that motherfucking stage, that's all that mattered. Now I'm pursuing a doctorates. Ain't near none of them got a fucking associate's degree, but they stay talking shit about me. Mad because I defeated the odds and I did it without their help. As a narcissistic grandparent, if they cannot control you and you have children, they will shit on their fucking grandchildren. They will act like their grandchildren are invisible, and they will spoil and treat their other grandchildren better to punish the grandchild. My daughter is innocent. My daughter has done nothing to hurt nobody in the family. They got my address. This is how petty my stupid ass mother is. Bitch can serve me with a restraining order, a temporary restraining order. She got my address. You know how to fucking go to the police station, bitch, and file a fake police report and have me served. But over the last 10, 15 years, not one single time have you sent your granddaughter a birthday card, a Christmas card with money, a graduation card for money. You don't send your grandbaby shit. And when we were little, my mother used to make us feel guilty. Why do you love your father? He don't do nothing for you. He don't pay his child support. Well, look at how the tables have turned, bitch. Because your raggedy bitch ass don't do shit for your granddaughter. Ain't nothing stopping you from sending your grandbaby a card, bitch. But see, now my daughter's a grown woman. And now she can see the fuck shit for what it is. And her middle finger is up. Fuck Grammy. Grammy's full of shit. She's a control freak. And because she couldn't control me, she punished my child, her grandbaby. Toxic, petty bitch. When I'm going to tell y'all like this, if you don't divorce your narcissistic parent, you will continue to date people with the same motherfucking personality as your mommy and daddy. You want to know why you keep attracting narcissists? Because you will not cut ties with your narcissistic parents. That is the key. That is the root. This is what the doctors don't want to tell you. You got to treat your parents like they're dead. You got to isolate, get the therapy, get rid of your toxic traits, do the shadow work, heal, and level the fuck up, and never let them in your life again and break it.